So the first club outside of the East of the first paying comedy club was Garvin's in Washington D.C., which I worked there before I moved to New York. That was the first paying comedy club on the East Coast. On the West Coast, there were a couple of different paying comedy clubs, 3. So there was probably only 4 in the whole country. Then the Comic Strip in New York City opened up a club in Fort Lauderdale. Now, my girlfriend at the time, Carol Leifer, was going to do the second week along with Mark Schiff, Kelly Rogers, and Joe Bolster, and her. And she wanted me to go. So she tells the club owners, Richie Tinkin and Bob Wax, she goes, I want my boyfriend Ritch to go. They said, look, we got other acts that are more comic strip acts. Ritch is more of an improv act. He's performs here at the Strip, but we got to put our guys in first. We can't send him down as a regular act right now. But we'll tell you what we'll do. We'll send him down as an MC for half price. She had to come and tell me. She goes, you only get $1.75 for the week. We're all getting $3.50. Now, my first thought, ego was, I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that at all, you know. But then I heard that voice saying, work begets work. I got no other gig that week. I'm doing it. So I took the gig. Is that actually a bird? Am I being heckled by a pigeon? I'm literally being heckled by a pigeon. At first, I'm looking at Chris going, Chris, is your ringer a pigeon? Because you know how people like go, right? We're going to keep it all in. I don't really care. So I take the gig. We're going to go to Fort Lauderdale. There are 5 of us going down to Fort Lauderdale. I'm doing this gig. I'm emceeing for $1.75. I don't care. So one night we're in a condo. This is the first time that I've been in this sort of situation where there's 5 comics living together. It was like a Marx Brothers kind of thing. All night long, people are coming in, coming out. Women are leaving. Women are coming. People are just moving out of this bedroom. I need this bedroom. It was nonstop. It was like a camp, summer camp that nobody slept. And one night, they had a phone there. It actually had a phone, a landline phone. And Kelly Rogers on the phone. He motions and says, come here, man. And what? He goes, whatever this guy asks, tell him you could do. So I get on the phone. The guy says, I have this new comedy club in Ottawa, Canada. I need a comedian next week who could do 2 separate 45-minute shows. Can you do 2 different 45-minute shows? I go, yes, I can. He said, fantastic. Be there next week. And this is the pay. I think it was like 800 Canadian, which may have been like at that time, $30 or something American. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, I took it. I didn't care. I was so excited. And so I hang up the phone. I go to Kelly. Kelly, I got maybe 20, 25 if they laugh at everything. If they laugh at everything. Like any other comedian, if they don't laugh, I got a 6-minute act. He said, don't worry, you'll write more material. You do more material. You keep writing, which I loved writing. I always loved writing. And I was constantly coming up with new stuff and trying new stuff. But I really, for the rest of my week at the Fort Lauderdale place, I was every night trying new stuff. And I go up to Ottawa. My strategy was the first show, do everything I had. And the second show, I would just run around the bar, do whatever I can, crowd work, be a maniac. I was like Jerry Lewis, you know. I just, pouring drinks on my head, whatever I could do. I was getting by. At the end of the week, I go get my pay, and the club owner says, a great week. This guy wants to talk to you on the phone. I pick up the phone, and the guy says, I'm Ernie Butler from Montreal. We got a new comedy club here. I heard you did great in Ottawa. Can you come next week? I said, fine. I went from Ottawa to Montreal. At the end of the week, same thing. He says, guy wants to talk to you on the phone. I pick it up. He says, Mark Breslin from Toronto Yuck Yucks. I heard you did great in Montreal. I need a comedian next week. I went from Montreal to Toronto. So I went out as an MC in Fort Lauderdale, came back 3 weeks later as a headliner. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I'm a headliner now, right?